Hello guys, welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be talking about Ali Abdaal's LifeOS. And I'm going to be introducing this 50-page long document for completely free so that you guys can understand what Ali Abdaal is, understand Ali Abdaal's VSL, what are his mistakes, and even an alternative VSL that I've written for him. So, this is a table of contents, and first of all, this is the transcript of his LifeOS VSL. If you don't know what a transcript is, it's basically taking a video and then listening to what they say and then just writing down what they say. So this is exactly what you said in the video in the VSL. So last time when we went over this, I probably went through the overall VSL problems. Okay, and so this is pretty much what I did last time, and but now I want to talk about the section specific breakdowns and talk about why this is really important. So most of I've basically highlighted and dissected every single line of his VSL. So we're going to start in the intro, of course. So here, this is the first few seconds, right? And the reason why the hook is so important is you have that like one or a few seconds to set the mood. First of all, set the mood for the VSL, but second of all, stop people from clicking away because once they watch like a minute, they're going to start being invested, and then they're going to start actually watching the video. And then this is a base level benefit. I'm going to be mentioning this much more throughout the document, but basically a base level benefit is something that's not the end result of what you want. So for example, let's say you're working and then you get a raise, right? So the raise is just a base level benefit, but the extra money is what you actually want, right? Or maybe you can say like, oh, I want to, or maybe like you can another base level benefit could be like, oh, you're more productive, right? You get more work done on your business. That's a base level benefit. But the actual benefit you want is more money, uh, bigger business, more employees, stuff like that, right? More freedom. So that's a base level So the base level benefit is like, oh, getting more work done, being more productive, stuff like that. And then here, and then this is probably the most solid part of the USL is just the authority. It's just um, showing our authority. Even in my alternative VSL, I basically wrote the same thing. But here, it's a little bit, he's going a little bit like, like he's trying to be humble, but it's, if he doesn't trust himself to be the guide, how can we trust him to guide us? Exactly. Um, good, good line, Quinto. um, anyways, here, this is also good because framing it as like the culmination of research is actually a pretty good idea since right here he just talked about how he's like a productivity expert, and then here he's talking about it's all the research. It's like telling people this document is all the research of Einstein. Like, of course people are going to be intrigued by that. um there's a little bit of a repeat. It's kind of excessive. If you just took this and then attached it to here, it would have been better. Not in the sense of just like doing more work efficiently, but in the sense of actually figuring out what really matters to you. This is still a base level benefit, but it's a better base level benefit than before because figuring out what really matters to you, like maybe that might be the end benefit. Maybe some people are confused and they want that, but most people don't really care about that. They just care that that will make their life easier. You know what I mean? I think you know what I mean. But this is good. Enjoyable and sustainable, that's a final benefit. If you say that's a real benefit, that's what people actually want. Anyways, here, the operating system analogy, he had something going on, honestly, because I also did something similar in the alternative VSL because I took inspiration, but in the end, it just didn't really click, and honestly, it just felt weird because he talks about it way too much. And if you want a more in depth look, this is what I say about this in the document. But honestly, it just feels way too drawn out, and people getting would get bored of the operating system analogy. Then he finally starts talking about what Life VSL is. So this is the offer, right? We're starting to get into the offer authority and uniqueness, that category, the body of the VSL, right? Um, here he, but the problem is with offers, you typically want one. You typically only want to talk about one or the main concept of the course, right? Here it talks about the first one, which is the vision and action, and then wait, never mind. I was being dumb. He talks about vision, but then it's really drawn out because basically this and so the vision pillar of LifeOS encourages us to do a bunch of reflecting, figure out what the small number of things that do really matter to us. That's what people really care about. You don't need to know about what's tragic being super productive and working your way towards a goal. This is BS, right? You could have just had this, and it would have, and then this part would have been so much shorter, and then he could have focused on and then in my VSL, I focused on life compasses, future sketch, and quarterly quests. Then, which it's kind of sucky that he didn't go more in depth about this because vision could have been summarized here, but then he could have went in on he could have went in on each individual one like I did. And personally, I'm not saying it's bad, but personally, I just feel like it was kind of disappointing. Second of all, this is this is action. This is a pretty good explanation of action, but then he does it again, and basically, this part could have been cut entirely if he just had this, right? And then mentioning the focused hour formula, productive day protocol, and the balanced week blueprint. Those are fine. That's fine. But then this part, the purple part, or mm, purplish pink, purplish pink part, and the yellow part is just completely useless. Then you have testimonials. Now you might be thinking, why aren't the testimonials highlighted? It's because I don't want to critique the way someone wrote a review. Because they wrote the review for expecting Ali to use it as feedback, right? They're writing to show their opinion and their feedback and their positive feedback to Ali. It's they didn't write it with the intention of convincing or persuading other people. They wanted to show their feedback, and they wanted to show their positive feedback instead of writing it to persuade. And second of all, they're not copywriters. They're just people living the life because they took the course, but they're not actually copywriters, so they don't really know how to write. I'm not saying that they're bad at writing. I'm just saying that they're not copywriters, and a copywriter could write their story better they can write their own because the whole point of a copywriter is to write. You know, it's like getting someone to do your taxes. It's not like you can't. It's like you can't. What am I saying? It's not like you can't right? It's what the it's not like you can't add or subtract or multiply, but you just trust someone else to do it better for you, right? Anyways, this is a pretty bad transition. He was going on and on about the offer, and then suddenly he cut, and then just dive into a few testimonials. Oh, right. A little more about the course. That's the second offer. I don't know why he has a second offer. That offer was already kind of drawn out. He didn't need another one, but he dives into some testimonials. Anyways, I basically mentioned why testimonials were kind of flawed, right? And then now it's the money back guarantee, and I need to go piss, so I'll be right back. Hello, I'm back. And so where do we leave off? The money back guarantee. Money back guarantee is just, oh my god. First of all, you don't need to mention that you have testimonials on the page, you know. You really don't need to. And second of all, he frames the money back guarantee. The money back guarantee itself is fine. It's amazing. You should definitely have a money back guarantee because if you don't believe in your product, why should your customers believe in the product, right? So the money back guarantee is fine. Why is it framed around him sleeping at night? Honestly, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but 99.95% of the people that watch the VSL do not give a flying fuck about if Ali sleeps good or bad. If he wakes up, posts an Instagram story like I slept pretty bad last night, people would be like, "Oh shit." Oh shit, sucks for him, and then go to the next story. Like nobody cares. So this shouldn't be the main reason why you had your money back guarantee. This all of this red thing, all of the red could be just out the window. This is what you really need. This is what you really should have, right? And the really good one is if you actually just go through the course and apply even one or two of the 6 different components into your life, which makes it way easier, I guarantee you'll see results almost immediately. That guarantee is amazing. This is what he should have. This part is amazing. It's just that this really sucks, you know? And then now he talks about the second feature slash offer of LifeOS is that it's app agnostic, aka you can have it on any platform, Windows, Mac, Windows, iOS, Android, or or maybe even Google Docs, or even pen and paper. You can mention this, but honestly, you don't really need it, right? Like, this part is good because people like examples and they'll be like, okay, that will be pretty easy to imitate. But then something like this is repetitive, it's just a very weak section, right? This whole section could have been just cut away and nobody would have asked a thing. He could have just mentioned, and if you're worried, he could have just said like, and if you're worried that this won't work for you, it's available on all platforms. And that leads on to another complaint I have with this VSL is that he the he frames it as like, oh, this works on all platforms instead of framing it as, oh, this works for all types of people with all types of problems and situations. People don't care if it works on their iPhone or their Windows. Like, they do not care. Okay, you can just say like, oh, it works on all platforms, and they'll be like, alright, good. You don't need a whole section for this, right? What people really care about is, will it work for my situation and my unique problems? That's what he should have delved. If this part was talking about that, that would be amazing. And then finally, the call to action, which honestly is just tragic. It's First of all, there's no pain point, no dream lives, which is really, really crucial. And also, there's no urgency. It's really, really crucial that you have urgency, you have a pain point, and you introduce a dream life into your call to action, right? And this is just a summary. This is great as a summary. But then he should have added something here. Maybe removed some of the BS on top. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I sound so mean. But he should have removed the BS on top. Had added a paragraph here. Like, if you want to, let's go to the LifeOS summary that I wrote. You, if you want to stop procrastinating, stop juggling commitments, and understand what you really want, then and wait, if you want to skip procrastination, stop juggling multiple commitments, and and then wait, and finally overcome decision fatigue, then click the button below. He should have said something like that, right? So, and then this one is just a very neutral. It's completely fine as a final sentence. But honestly, this part should have added some type of motivational push because it's the last thing. It's like dessert, right? There's a study that said when you think back, let's say you eat a meal and then you leave, the biggest impression is the final few minutes. So that's why dessert is such an important thing, right? So this is why this this is like the dessert of the VSL, and honestly, it's kind of bland. It's just like a it's just like a very average Subway cookie. It's not even Mr. Field cookie. It's a Subway cookie. So I'm not nothing on Subway cookies. They're just nothing insane. Nothing on a tiramisu or a panna cotta or ice cream on a waffle. You know, it's just kind of disappointing. But that's basically. I know I've been like dissing Ali this entire time, but I have utmost respect for him. Tada. And yeah, if you want to read this, just go to the description or whatever, and it's gonna be there. There's a link, and you can open this. You can download it for yourself, and you can read through the entire thing. That's it for me, and I'll see you next time.